My friends, there comes a time in every person's life when they must ask themselves a question that shakes the soul. Am I growing or am I settling? Am I chasing the life I dream about, or am I just surviving the one I've been handed? Because deep down we all know that comfort, though it feels safe, though it feels familiar, can become the silent thief of our future. The comfort zone isn't a place of peace, it's a place of pause, and the longer you stay paused, the more of your life slips away before your eyes. You see, comfort whispers to us in a soft voice. It says, stay here, you're doing fine, don't take that risk, don't face that fear, you've earned a rest. And before we know it, that whisper becomes a lullaby that puts our potential to sleep. We start making peace with mediocrity. We start convincing ourselves that our dreams were unrealistic, that maybe they weren't meant for people like us. But that's a lie told by fear. And fear loves comfort. It feeds on it, it thrives on it, it grows stronger every time we choose what's easy instead of what's right. Think about the moments in your life when you felt most alive. Were they easy? Were they safe? No. They were probably the moments when you were scared, uncertain, but determined. When your heart was pounding, your hands were shaking, and you didn't know what would happen next. But you went forward anyway. That's where growth lives. That's where transformation begins, because comfort never made a person great. It never built a leader, never wrote a masterpiece, never changed the world. Discomfort did, challenge did, courage did. We live in a world today that sells comfort like it's success. We're told that happiness comes from convenience, from staying in our lane, from avoiding pain. But the truth is, happiness isn't built on ease, it's built on effort. Real happiness comes when you've fought through fear, when you've earned the right to look at yourself and say, I didn't settle. It comes when you've stretched so far beyond your limits that you surprise yourself with what you can do. Some people spend their entire lives waiting for the right moment to take action. They wait for the perfect timing, the perfect confidence, the perfect plan, but that perfect moment doesn't exist. It's a mirage. And the longer you wait for it, the further away your dreams move. Growth is messy. Change is uncomfortable, but that's what makes it beautiful. You've got to be willing to look foolish, to fail, to start again, to keep showing up even when it hurts. Because that's where the future is built, on persistence, not perfection. I've seen too many talented people stop short of their destiny because they couldn't bear the discomfort that growth demands. They had the skills, they had the potential, but they chose safety over progress. They let comfort steal their future. They thought they had time, but time is a trickster. It moves quietly, it moves quickly, and it doesn't wait for those who hesitate. You think you're staying still, but you're falling behind. You think you're maintaining peace, but you're losing your purpose. And so I ask you, what is your comfort zone costing you? Maybe it's that business you never started, that book you never wrote, that skill you never learned, that relationship you never pursued, that version of yourself you never met. Maybe it's the pride of knowing you gave your best when life challenged you the hardest. Comfort feels good today, but it costs you tomorrow. And one day, tomorrow will come knocking, asking what you did with your time, your gifts, your potential. What will you say? That you were too afraid? That you didn't feel ready? That you wanted it easy? I'm here to tell you, no one ever feels ready. No one ever feels certain. Every person you admire, every success story you've heard, every leader, artist, or innovator who changed something in this world, they all started scared. They all started uncertain. They all started outside their comfort zone, but they started. They stepped forward, and in doing so, they discovered that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward in spite of it. When you take that first step, something incredible happens. You begin to realize that the wall you thought was blocking you wasn't real. It was built from your doubts, your excuses, your hesitation. And every time you push against it, it crumbles a little more. You begin to see that discomfort is not your enemy, it's your guide. It shows you where you need to grow, where your potential hides, where your next chapter begins. We've been conditioned to avoid pain, but pain is part of progress. Growth hurts because it stretches you beyond what you've known. It asks you to let go of your old identity, the one that says, this is who I am, and this is all I can be. But you are not fixed. You are not limited, you are evolving, and the only way to evolve is to step into the unknown. You might fail. In fact, you probably will. But failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of it. Every failure is feedback, every mistake is a teacher, every setback is setting you up for a comeback. The people who go the farthest are not the ones who never fail, they are the ones who never quit. They understand that discomfort is temporary, but regret lasts a lifetime. When I talk about the comfort zone stealing your future, I'm not talking about some abstract idea. I'm talking about real lives, real dreams, real people who have the power to change their story, but choose not to. There are young people with brilliant ideas who never speak up because they're afraid of being judged. There are workers with creative minds who never take the leap to build their own vision because they fear losing stability. There are artists who never share their work, dreamers who never try, innovators who never build, because the comfort zone feels too warm to leave. But if you stay where it's comfortable, you'll never find out who you could have been. You'll never see how high you could have climbed. And that, my friends, is the greatest tragedy of all, not failure, but potential left unexplored. Think about it. The phone you use, the music you love, the cities you live in, all of them exist because someone, somewhere, refused to stay comfortable. They challenged the norm, they took a risk. They faced rejection, ridicule, resistance, and they kept going. They understood that legacy isn't built in comfort, it's built in courage. You have that same power. You may not believe it, but it's there. It's in your ideas, your passion, your determination. It's in that little voice inside that says, "There's more for me." Don't silence that voice with fear. Feed it with action. Every day you wake up, you're faced with a choice, comfort or growth, safety or progress, today or tomorrow. You can choose to repeat yesterday, or you can choose to create something new. It's not easy. The world will tell you to stay in line, to follow the crowd, to play it safe. But history doesn't remember those who stayed comfortable. It remembers those who stepped into the storm, who dared to fail, who refused to let fear dictate their fate. We've all got dreams, but dreams don't work unless you do. You've got to take that leap. You've got to make the call, write the plan, show up, keep going even when it feels impossible, because no one is coming to save you from your comfort zone. You've got to rescue yourself. You've got to be the one who says, "Enough, I want more, I deserve more, I will become more." The world outside your comfort zone is waiting for you. It's waiting with lessons, with opportunities, with experiences that will shape you into who you were meant to be. But you'll never know until you step out. And when you do, you'll realize that the things you were afraid of weren't nearly as big as you thought. You'll look back and wonder why you waited so long. When you chase growth, you start to live differently. You stop seeking approval and start seeking purpose. You stop avoiding fear and start using it as fuel. You stop counting the days and start making the days count. That's when you begin to live fully, not half asleep in comfort, but wide awake in challenge. And I know what some of you might be thinking. What if I try and fail? What if I lose everything? But I ask you this. What if you never try at all? What if you never discover what you're capable of? What if you never meet the person you could become? Isn't that a far greater loss? There's a fire inside you that the comfort zone can't contain. You were not born to live on repeat. You were born to explore, to create, to conquer, to contribute. You were born to rise from your doubts, to rewrite your story, to build something that lasts beyond you. But to do that, you must first make peace with discomfort. You must learn to walk with fear, to embrace uncertainty, to see obstacles not as walls, but as doors to new possibilities. Your comfort zone might feel like home, but it's not where you belong. You belong on the edge of discovery, in the field of growth, in the arena where dreams are tested and futures are made. You belong in motion. Because life, my friends, is movement. The moment you stop moving, you start decaying. The moment you stop growing, you start fading, and you were not made to fade. So I challenge you today, do something that scares you. Speak up when you'd rather stay silent. Take a step when you'd rather stand still. Begin even when you don't feel ready. Push yourself until you see how strong you really are, because your comfort zone may offer you peace for now, but your purpose will offer you peace forever. One day you'll look back on your life, and when that day comes, I hope you can smile knowing you didn't let fear win, that you didn't trade your potential for safety, that you didn't let comfort steal your future. Because in the end, comfort fades, but courage echoes. It echoes through time, through people, through generations. The question is not whether your comfort zone is stealing your future. The question is, what will you do about it? Will you stay where it's easy, or step where it's worth it? Will you choose fear, or will you choose freedom? The answer will shape the rest of your life. And I promise you, if you choose courage, if you choose growth, if you choose to step out of that zone and face the unknown, you will find that your future was never stolen. It was waiting for you all along.